All right, what's going on, everybody? G Funky Boxing. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. I'm being joined today by a very special guest, Kevin Nomas Montano. What's going on, bro?
So, man, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. So let's get into some business first, man. You are 4-0 with 2 KOs. And you got a fight coming up April 7th at Cash Creek Casino here in
Yeah.
Northern California. Do you have an opponent yet?
We're actually still looking for one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've sent in like at least 10 different opponents at this point, but it's just hard to get someone to accept it.
And what do
Yeah.
you think that is?
People don't want to. Sorry, excuse me. Turn this off. People don't want to. I don't know. I guess people want way too much money to fight someone that's undefeated. People do the research and then they end up seeing who I am, and I don't know. I'm assuming they just don't want to take the fight. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've asked this question to a few other fighters that I've spoke to who have been training without an opponent yet. So I'll ask you the same thing. Is it difficult to prepare for a fight when you don't know like what kind of fighter you're going to go up against? Is that something that's a little worrisome, or is it just regular shit for you?
No, well, honestly, like I see it like this. At this point, I've been getting ready for almost 2 months. I mean, I never stopped training to begin with, but when you have a fight lined up, you're gonna step it up a little bit. So I've been in shit for a while now, and then I just think about it. Well, whoever takes the fight at this point is gonna be kind of caught off guard. So more power to me, I guess. Yeah,
Yep, that's that competitive edge,
yeah,
man, and I like that, man. I really do. So I want to talk to you about something off topic a little bit here because, from my understanding, you went to Sac State and you graduated a couple years ago, right?
yeah. In 2020,
All right. So what was your degree in, if you don't mind me asking?
bachelor's of science in kinesiology with an emphasis in exercise science.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what on earth would make you want to be a fighter? No, I'm just kidding, bro. But no, I will ask you that question too, though. Like, what initially got you into boxing, the sport, and then what led you into wanting to pursue a career, become an amateur, and then now you're a professional?
Um, well, at first it was more of like, so my parents moved us from Richmond, California. It was kind of rough out there. I'm not sure you're familiar with
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
side of town. So we moved to Concord, which was definitely a lot better than Richmond. Um, but being young and if you hang out with the wrong crowd, it really don't matter where you are. Um, you're gonna end up in something bad or something unproductive. So my parents put me into a boxing program to keep me out of trouble. And if you would have asked me at 8 years old when I started, you're gonna be a pro boxer, 15 years from now, I probably would have told you you're crazy. But um, it started off as something to keep me out of trouble. And when you have too much time on your hands, bad things can happen. So
Oh
I
yeah.
got I got I got really into it, and then fast forward 10 months into my amateur career, or not my amateur career, just in my first 10 months stepping in the boxing gym. I had my first fight, and I won by decision, and I fell in love with it. I was about 9 years old at the time, and ever since then, I knew I never wanted to stop. And then uh, going back into the pro thing, uh, I mean, as soon as I was around the time I hit the 10 year mark in my boxing career, amateur boxing career. I was like, okay, well, I'm 10 years in now. Uh, I might as well do something with this. Why would I waste these 10 years? So another 5 years go by, and then I go through the whole process like of like pretty much do everything you can do in the amateurs. Go to all the national tournaments, go out to the state championships, even fought overseas, Olympic trials even. So I did everything that there was to do. So now there was nothing left but to go pro.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, we got ourselves a donation here in the chat from my man Iceman. Gives me $10, man. Hey, I appreciate the
Nice.
super sticker, man. We're here live with Kevin Nomas Montano. Um, you mentioned some of your amateur background. Now you have a very deep amateur background. Let us know a little bit about that. What were you in tournaments? I know you won some national titles, right? And you also were in the Olympic trials, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So go
sorry, go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, you go ahead.
So you pretty much just the question is just like going on my over my amateur background, right?
Yeah, let us know some of your accomplishments in the amateur bracket.
In a nutshell, I was I guess you could say a three-time state California champion. I was formerly ranked number two in the country. I was 2020 Olympic trialist, and I had over 160 amateur fights.
Mm.
Um, yeah, started boxing when I was 8 years old, and I'm 25 now. I haven't stopped ever since.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot of fights, man. This, for a lot of guys these days. I mean, we know that amateurs that come from like other countries, they 200, 300, 400 sometimes. But for a kid growing up here in the US, yeah, over having over 100 amateur fights is a lot. And that's good experience. Who are some of the fighters that some of the fans out there might know that you've fought in the amateurs?
you guys probably would know like Keyshawn Davis,
Mhm.
uh, Bruce Carrington, probably,
Yeah.
Duke Reagan for sure. Duke and Keyshawn, they were both silver medalists, I believe,
Mhm.
in the this last Olympics. Um, I definitely fought a few more, but I don't know if like those guys I just mentioned, like if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you're gonna know about them. After that, I definitely fought a lot of talent in my day, but just not nothing off the top of my head that I can remember right now.
Yeah, no, those names are definitely familiar with me. I'm pretty sure my subscribers here, man, this is a hardcore channel here, man. So,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they know those names as well. Like you said, you mentioned Keyshawn Davies, who is a silver medalist, Duke Reagan. These guys, Bruce Carrington. These guys are all fighting on the undercards on Top Rank. Um, so yeah, those are good names, man. And you've been in a room with those guys. That's really good experience, man. Now, as far as your Olympic trials go, how'd that go for you?
it was a crazy experience. I honestly wasn't even supposed to make it that far, because we had enough funding to make it to the qualifier because it was right in our backyard because at that time it was in Reno and I was in the Bay Area, so it was that like 3 hour drive, so there's no
Yeah.
reason we couldn't make that. It was still expensive paying for hotel and food for the week and whatnot, so we made it work, but once we qualified, we're like, all right, cool, but no, we don't have enough money to make it to the actual trials because it was in was it Louisiana, I believe it was Louisiana. It's just well, what we did though, we ended up doing a GoFundMe, and we got enough money just for me to go by myself. So at this point I was like, look, I'm only gonna get this opportunity once in a lifetime. I might as well just try and see what happens. So I go try out there with no coach. Not that he didn't want to go, we just didn't have the funding. So you know, well, if I don't go for sure, I'm definitely not gonna qualify. So if I go, at least I have a shot. So I go with no coach. I go literally by myself. Trying to figure out where to stay, where am I gonna go eat, how am I gonna get to places, because
Hmm.
it's not like I just have a car in Louisiana either. Um, but I don't make excuses. I make it work, and then I find someone to corner me and to I think I have like a different person every fight, but I fought the first fight against I think it was like the number two seed. So I was like, all right, well they're trying to set me up, but I ended up beating him, and it was just like I guess a godsend because I wasn't even supposed to make it that far, but I ended up beating the number two seed. So then I advanced to the second fight. We're top six at this time, or at least in the winning bracket. Not really top six, but we're top six in the winning bracket. And after a fight, it's really just an off day. I feel like I beat myself more than I don't really think I beat. I think I just beat myself. It's more of a mental thing, the boxing thing. And I'm just I have a lot of pressure on me. It's just me, and I lose that fight, and then it's a double elimination. I believe it's the only tournament that's double elimination, at least in the USA. So I get another chance, and I'm in the losers bracket, and then I go against a Duke Reagan, of course,
Hmm.
which I believe he was the number one seed. So unless I knocked him out, it's not like I was gonna beat him. I mean, you can't ask me because I'm biased about the decision, so I'm not gonna go in about that. But unless I knocked him out, I wasn't gonna beat him. Team USA's favorite. Um, so yeah, that's how
You
that
know,
ended up.
a few people I spoke to about that fight, in doing some research for this interview, man, they all said they felt like you could have won that fight.
Yeah,
So I mean, obviously, like you said, you're gonna be biased, but
yeah.
hey, there's some people that are thinking that yeah, you probably did win that fight. We have one question here from the chat. Mo Boxing, no problem, says Kevin, what happened to the fight at San Francisco Cow Palace earlier this year? You were promoted on posters and everything, but it didn't come to be. I believe he's talking about the February 18th card that was Andy Vance's was over there, and another local fighter, Kane Sandoval. I do know quite a few fighters were scheduled to be on that card, but it didn't happen. So, do you know what happened there? Or
Yeah, I mean that they couldn't find me an opponent. Same kind of situation we're in right now.
hmm
Um, I think a few other people, like, I don't know what happened. There's a few other fighters that like the same thing happened. Well, not the same thing. They didn't fight for, I don't know for what reason. They actually had opponents. So it's a little bit weird on their end. I don't want to, badmouth nobody, but something was up. Um, I'm assuming it had to do with because the Cow Palace is not cheap. It's a really expensive venue to try and
yeah.
rent. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough funding and they had to cut some people off. And not that they cut me off, because that's not what happened with me. They just couldn't find me an opponent. Um, so we didn't fight. Can't fight without an opponent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, it's one of those things, man. We know how the business of boxing could be sometimes, man, but we won't go into that too much. But so you said you're from, or you live in Concord now, or is that where you train out of right now?
So my schedule's a little weird. I live in Sacramento, but I'm in Concord like 4 days out of the week because my boxing
Hmm.
coach is over here in Concord. Um, but this is my hometown also, so I've been here for a while, and I train here like Monday to Thursday because obviously I still need a coach, and then Friday and through Sunday I kind of just work on my technique and my conditioning, my strength work, with my strength trainer, and I have a house over there, so that's where I stay at. When I'm over here, I stay with my parents, to avoid paying for hotels or whatever.
Hmm.
And then I just commute. I'm back and forth a lot.
So, from my understanding, when you're here training in Sacramento, because I live in Sacramento as well, um, I was born and raised here. Uh, you've been doing some work at the Flawless Boxing Gym with Brandon Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna date myself here, but it's all good. My audience knows that I'm old, but I remember Brandon when he was still an amateur, early 2000s, man. I'm talking. I had a few friends that were training in the gym with him at the time, and yeah, it's really good to see him still hanging around the area, and opening a gym here in the city. It's been really good, man. And like you said, with your story, it kept you out of trouble, and that's a good thing with boxing. It can definitely help people who are in those kind of situations. So shout out to Brandon, man. It's been a long time since I've seen him. Maybe I should pop up there at the gym one of these days and check you guys out. It should be pretty fun.
Yeah, he's real good people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Um, so let me ask you some more questions here, just a few more. Um, so your style, let's talk about the type of style you fight with. Now, from the fights that I seen two of your fights. One of them I just caught some highlights of, and another one I seen a full fight. I believe it was your pro debut here at the Doubletree um a few years back. But to me, you kind of look like a pressure type style fighter to me. Would you describe your style as that?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely would would go as a pressure style type of fighter. However, you know, I've been fighting that way for so many years, and I just want to add more to my arsenal. So you know, I'm trying to switch things up this fight, and I'm trying to. I don't want to go into too many details on what I'm gonna do, but I want to say you're gonna see a completely different fighter.
Mm.
I'm still gonna definitely be using my pressure when because you still have to attack in order to win, but I want to mix it in with a lot of other things. Like don't want to get into the details, but it's not gonna be something that most people are used to seeing. I honestly have it's something I've been testing for a while now, and I think it's time to bring it out.
Ah, okay. So we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing that. And again, guys, Kevin will be fighting April 7th at Cash Creek Casino here in, I think it's Brooks, California.
Yeah,
Um, and if you're in the area, guys, I know a lot of you guys that are subscribed to me are from the Northern California region. Check them out, man. I think the tickets, things the cheapest I've seen are like $60 to get in. So go on down and check out the fights, man. You guys know I try to cover all the local fighters here as much as I can, help them out and things like that. I believe that's a showbox card, right? There's going to be some nationally televised fights, right?
yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah. So that's
some
cool,
title
man.
fights too, I believe.
Yeah, I think the main event is a USBA title or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, guys, make sure again if you're there, check it out. You're gonna see my man here apply that pressure,
Yes,
or
sir.
like he said, he's gonna mix it up a little bit. Can't wait to see it, man. So as far as like you say you're a pressure fighter, growing up and watching the sport, and obviously you were fighting since you were 9 years old. Who were some of your favorite fighters, and who did you kind of emulate your style after?
Mm, so there's not really someone that I emulated my style after. It was more of just the way I was taught how to box. Back in the day, you probably know about this, but back in the day, amateur boxing, they used to use the little clickers.
Mm-hmm.
So red clicker, blue clicker, and whoever landed the most clean punches would win. So my coach in the gym, he would also have the clickers, and he'd count each of us, and he said, "I want 100 punches around, 100 punches each round," which is crazy amount of punches for 3 minutes. But that's what he wanted, so that's what he got. And what that created was a crazy amount of output and a crazy amount of work ethic as well as a gas tank, which that's really good, because nowadays a lot of fighters win just because they have a better gas tank more than it is
Mm-hmm.
they have more technique. So that kind of got me into that pressure stuff because I'm just so focused on throwing so many damn punches. Um, if you throw 10 punches, 4, 5, 6 of them are gonna land.
Yeah.
Um, even if you're missing half of them, you're still landing the other half. So, in amateur boxing, that would help me win about 80 to 90% of my fights. Um, Nowadays, they obviously don't use the clickers anymore. But I've noticed that most amateur fights are when whoever's putting out the most output and kind of dominating the ring and who's controlling the pace and hitting more than getting hit. But I'm a professional now, so I want to switch it up a little bit, and especially going into longer rounds. I like that style is gonna work, but not I can't be throwing 100 punches for 12 rounds, and that's impossible. But I can throw maybe 50, 60 punches every round. Just a lot more calculated, a lot more power shots, and more quality over quantity. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
does absolutely, man. And like you said, it's a different thing, man. Longer rounds, more rounds, obviously,
Yeah.
than the amateurs. So no, that's I think that's a really smart approach, man, to transitioning from amateurs to professional. So I just got a few more questions here, man. You're in training camp right now for your fight. You're going to be fighting here in just a couple of weeks. Now I want to ask you this. I ask this often to a lot of fighters as well that I've had on. Um, what would you say, in your opinion, is the hardest part of a training camp?
Oh, the weight cut for sure, man. Definitely the weight cut. Cause like I don't know, I'm a fat kid on the inside. Like I love to eat. Uh, so just having to like make the sacrifice of not eating what you want to eat, which sounds like a first world problem, but It's just it's like I don't know, hunger. The hunger is real because there's nights when I'm just like, and I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it the right way. I'm doing it very healthy. I hired a registered sports dietitian. These people are doctors. They have their PhD. So I used to do it. I would honestly call it stupid. I would just not cutting weight healthy, not cutting weight the right way. But now I'm doing it the right way. But even then, it's just giving up food is probably just the hardest thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really one of the most of the time. That's what I hear is cutting weight. And like I mentioned earlier, I've known a few people in my life that have been professionals, and some of the things that they've told me and some things that I've seen them do to cut weight, I'm just like, wow. Like, I don't know how you even have the strength to fight the
Yeah.
next day. It is absolutely insane, man. So, before I let you go, man, again, because again, you're training and all that stuff, don't want to take up too much of your time. I do appreciate you being here, though, man. But let us know one thing about yourself that we don't know that we should know about Kevin Nomas Montano.
That's a good question. Um, well, I'm definitely something. I guess something that makes me stand out a little bit. That's not really as profound now as it will be in the near future. Is I'm trying to take a completely different approach to the traditional boxing career than most people. Uh, because I'm not just trying to be a boxer. I'm trying to be everything, a businessman, a superstar, a talented individual, a generous person. I'm trying to blow myself up through the power of social media, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to work smarter rather than harder, which most people say there's no way to go around working hard in boxing. Obviously, I still have to work hard and put in my rounds in the gym and my days in the gym, and obviously I'm doing all that, but I'm using the power of social media to grow my name out there and promote myself like 95, 90, maybe even 99 boxers don't. They think, oh, as long as I'm 10-0, um someone's gonna sign me. Well, that's not true. You can be 10-0 and you fought all bums. No one's gonna sign you. Like they're gonna look at your transcript and think on box track and think about, wow, this guy hasn't fought nobody. Of course I'm not gonna sign him. I can't even put him on TV.
Hmm.
But one thing that kind of separates me from the competition is I don't want to say I'm smarter, but just I'm more educated. I understand the game a little bit deeper than most athletes, just because thank God I went to Sac State and I learned. But it's not about what I learned; it's about like learning how to learn, how to research, how to understand things better. Having a being well versed in many subjects, and that's something that most athletes, and I want to say athletes, I mean boxers, they think I just got to be a boxer. I just got to be a boxer. Well, that's not true. You can't just be a boxer anymore. You have to be a superstar. You have to be funny. You have to be charming. You have to be talented. You have to stand out because there's so many boxers now. Like, so what makes you different? Why should when Matchroom comes to the table, when Top Rank comes to the table, like why should we sign you? There's like 10 other guys that are 10-0.
Oh no. There
Hello.
you are. Can
Yeah,
you
sorry
hear
for
me?
yeah. For some reason I got a phone call. I think we're good now, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, just so I'm kind of ranting, but just you have to stand out nowadays, and that's something most boxers don't understand. They think they can just be a fighter the whole time. Like, no, you have to be well connected with your career. You have to know what it takes to, because what's the end goal here? Fighting. Yeah, we all love to fight, but we do have to make a living. We do have to make a difference. We do have to make an impact in the community, and you're not going to do that by just fighting. You have to go speak in public places, give back to the community, promote yourself, because who else is going to do that for you? um I know
Hmm.
I know it's kind of a long answer, but
No, that's
uh
fine, man.
yeah, I, I
I
i'm
hey,
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I'm gonna say, hey, man, you sound like you got a really good head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You're still young, 25 years old. just starting your career, and I think some of the things that I've heard you say right now. Yeah, man, I think you got it. You got a plan, and that's good, man. That's a good thing, because you just in this type of sport, you just never know, man. It could end at any fight. Something could happen. We know the consequences of the sport. So, hey, man, that's great. So that's it for this one, guys. I want you, Kevin, to let everybody know here where they could find you, social media, and all that. And if you have any message for the fans, now's your time, man. And let's hope that you get an opponent, man, because I would love to see you fight on the 7th.
Yeah, be sure to follow me at No Mas Montano. I do have another page, but that one's not really about me. It's more of a promotional page, but that's at No Mas Montano. Montano is spelled Montano. And what was the other question?
Oh, just whatever message you have for the fans, man. Go ahead.
Just be ready to see a completely different fighter April 7th. Be ready to see something you've never seen before. I'm excited. I'm really excited about this fight just because I feel like something clicked in my training camp, and it's all just making sense now. So God willing, I'll have an opponent, and I'll be ready to give everybody a great show.
Absolutely, man. And we look forward to it. So, Kevin, thanks a lot, man. Good luck in your fight on the 7th, and can't wait to see it, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome anytime, brother. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, guys, that was Kevin Nomas Montano. Again, fighting on the Showbox card April 7th from Cash Creek Casino in Brooks, California. That's in Northern California. And again, if you're in the area, make sure that you check it out, man. Again, live fights, like I said, I think they're like $60. Some of the lowest seats that I've seen. And that's not bad, and you're going to get 6 fights. There's going to be three local fights, and then 3 fights that I believe are going to be on the televised Showbox. So go on and check them out. And if you're not in the area, make sure you watch it, man. It's going to be on Friday, April 7th. So that's all we got for this one, guys. Appreciate you all for being here live. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. And if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.